Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome into Flying with Mike. We are sitting in Boston, Boston's Logan Airport. We are going to try this. Now, the last time we flew the MD-11 was Indianapolis to here. And as we were going downwind, about to turn in on the ILS, tragedy happened. Unbeknownst to anyone or anywhere or anyhow, a crash to desktop occurred. No mention of any problems in the logs or anything like that. So we're gonna try this flight, but it's, a beautiful day outside. I'll grant it, 3 feet of snow on the ground, but a beautiful day outside. You just can't see the 3 feet of snow. Yeah, in the real world, there's a lot of snow on the ground here. But it is clear skies. We are real world weather. So I hope you enjoy this flight. We are traveling from Boston's Logan Airport down to Newark Liberty Airport. And yes, to the question last time we flew in, we have the new scenery. More on that to come because there's a lot you need to know when I loaded it. I was a little disappointed in the Drzewieckii documentation, but we got it working, and that's all that matters. But I'm going to let you know things you need to know about this scenery. So, but it's, I mean, once it's loaded, okay, the anguish of getting to that point, in my case, was nicely, a nice return when I saw what showed. So you'll see it when we get there, and that's probably when we'll talk about it. All right, we're in the Rotate MD-11, and as I said, we did have issues with it on the last flight. Hopefully just we're going to do a couple of test flights here over the next few weeks to see if it's where I'm hoping it's not, the weather radar. We'll see. You never know with these planes, and since they don't have a Discord channel, if they do, please let me know so I can try to figure out how to search for it and get a part of it. We had a crash to desktop, like I said. There was no mention in the log as to what oopsed to cause it. So a myriad of things could have caused it at that point. So we'll see. All right, so let's take a look at what we got here. The Purple People Eater, as I like to refer to it, and Mini, the original FedEx colors, and which were actually Federal Express. I'm not sure when they shortened the name, but it is shortened. Hang on, let's do a little search for the tail. So who knows? But yeah, and yeah, as in the real world, our MD-11 has been certified by the Virtual Federal Aviation Administration that it's safe to fly, so long as Flying with Mike is not behind the wheel. Oh, wait, it says that? So, yeah, no, in my airplane, it's good to go. Unfortunately, in the real world, they really are going through some scrutiny. And before you think I'm giving it lightness, very much needed. Not because it's Boeing, not because it's McDonnell Douglas, but because that crash opened a huge wound in this. Trying to think the right way, not the right words, and I'm not meaning legalistically. This airframe type, let's go that way. Hopefully that makes sense. The tri-jet. Now the 727 didn't have wing-mounted engines, so that's why I'm trying to be careful, because this tri-jet airframe had a tragedy long before the MD-11s came up out of O'Hare. and engines separated there as well. So hopefully these fixes to these bolts and anything else they find does the trick, and we get to see them again, because boy, they fill such a huge niche. Actually, there's one carrier out there completely grounded right now because they were all MD-11s. So yeah, it does fill a niche. It can hold weight-wise pretty much the same as a 747 and a 777. Cargo inside of it may not be as high as a 7.4 or triple, but you know, 3 engines is always more efficient than 4, and it is an efficient mover. So anyway, enough said. Let's get up there. We have a busy day if you haven't figured that out yet. Quick overview for you here on Twitch. And yes, we know we're early by right now 30 minutes, but we started nearly 45 minutes early because of such a busy day. And there are a lot of short haul. Boston to Newark, hey folks, that's only like 200 miles. Then Nashville to St. Louis, Illinois. Now, I put that there intentionally to see how many people are going to go, where is that in Illinois? Mid-America Airport. That too is around 200 miles. And then the longer of the flights today, Newark to Charlotte. That way you can see an outbound flight. All right, so that's what you're going to see on Twitch. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, this video will only contain Boston to Newark. There will be subsequent videos coming down the road for the other 2 flights. I hear noise. Let's see who's making it. Oh, a ghost. We did have a FedEx jet behind us here just before we started. So, all right, well, let's get in. Now, you heard some of the bells and whistles going off in the music. And if you didn't, oh well. We're just going through the checklist. The IRS is probably aligned by now. So let me get the hydraulic test going while we do the rest. I say this every time. If you open a hatch, close the hatch. That gives you 2 chances before you screw it up. Okay? Now, test won't screw it up. But if you were to, say, undo the battery or, say, one of these 3 drives, well, you lose that generator till you land and do whatever you got to do in this plane to reset it. Oh, yeah, they're coming alive right now. Perfect timing. And I'm going to come down here to the Airbus 11 panel. And we're going to start in on the flight plan here in a minute. Now, I have already initialized the flight, the McDo. So, and then we're going to, okay, we got the test going. All right, I am going to get down here. We're going to put the flight plan in real quick. And then continue on from there. All right, so you can see Boston, Newark, Philadelphia is the alternate. We're not messing with these today on this flight only because usually cargo is exempted. Sometimes it's not. I'm not even going to look and see if I'm in the wrong. However, according to SimBrief, today's top altitude, 16,000. Okay, and then if we had step climbs along the way, we'd enter them just like you see, 160/250/300/ right down here, you do it. Now, headwinds. Pretty sure we have a headwind. It has been monstrous here lately of winds in the U.S. Could be everywhere. They have just been wicked. Mostly, well, we're down low, so that's why. You get up there into 30s, they've been howling at over 100 knots. and in some cases over 150. So yeah, it's flights back from Europe are hopefully they can find to move the tracks to where the winds aren't as fierce. They try. That's the whole goal. All right, so minus, so that'll be head H. Well, it won't work that way. Slash HD 46. What this is the component. So you take the wind. Okay, in this case, the average of the cruise level winds are 255 at 56 knots. So 255 degrees at 56 knots. Our average course is factored in, and the component comes off of that. In this case, we're running, I'm going to just say generally 230 to 240, maybe in that range, so you can get an idea. We're getting buffeted crosswind from the co-pilot side. That would be the right side. So, and then it factors off because you're not going full bore into it. Now, if we were going 255 degrees, more than likely the whole trip it'd be 56. But we're not. Now, this will only come into play if memory serves when you put in your cost index. Yeah. And then it knows how high you can go and what the max is. If you forget it, it will stay blank. Trust me. I've been down that road. All right, so we've got the basics of the flight loaded. Let me see if there's anything else we could do except bunch up, test over, good deal. Yeah, let's punch down to comm radios because that is important. We are on VATSIM, by the way. So, X-Pilot, bring that up. Make sure your TX, your RX for COM 1 are highlighted, COM 2 RX highlighted. If they are not, check, and it's usually the RX side, check your speakers. They're the ones I show lit up here, circling. And what you do, you turn them all the way up. I highly recommend doing that. And I can hear go, they're going to blow my ears out. Well, then don't talk so loud in the microphone. 2, you can hear the controller then. And 3, you got to actually push on them to get these to light up. Okay, that's the first thing. Next, come down, move your transponder to Xponder, and that will light the green light for mode C. And then once you've logged in to VATSIM, if you're like at Logan or any airport in the US, it usually auto ATCs a transponder code, which the controllers are supposed to use. Yeah, many don't. They go get their own. That kind of irks me a little. And they'll say, well, we make you change en route. Nah, not really. But whatever. All right. Now that takes care of the comms. Now to the glare shield. All right. And what we're talking about here is what do we need initially to get going? All right. Well, we obviously want to know our barometric pressure. So let's look down here. We're QNH 2992. You know what? This would make it a lot easier if I did that. All right. Well, the current barometric pressure here in the Bostonian area is... Well, I got to get the flight in here first. As of 41 minutes ago, 3013. All right, and then we can also set our radar altimeter. I'm going to go to 400. Oh, All right, and then the rest of it goes like this. Nav data heading. Just want to make sure heading and nav. Faro set out bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. We've all heard that before. Bank angle. You might hear it on this flight. I know it's hard to see it, but there's a little caret where the metal bends down to make it, you know, where it's, you know, selected to. Put it on auto. And then we're good to go to the next part of the FMC. Now, I am going to, at this time, bring the FMC up, and we're going to go to Sim Toolkit. Let's talk about the flight real quick. All right, so here it is. Now, for some reason, this version of Sim Toolkit 1.3.6, they got rid of the weather. I have no idea why. And you can't change the maps. Why there hasn't been an update in more than 2 weeks, I can't answer that question. So that's what we're dealing with right now, why you see it the way it does. Anyway, here's our loadout. By the way, we are flying for FedEx Express Virtual. In order to, if you join FedEx Express Virtual, hang on, VDEX, at www.fdxva.org, Twitch users, it's in the chat. All you have to do to fly a flight here is two things. Download the latest, greatest ACARS program they've created, which is phenomenal. Very simple, very easy to use. Now, granted, the rest now are, for the most part, pretty easy to use. All you have to do is select your flight, go through a couple little questions, like what airplane, maybe put the route in, maybe not, and click, that's your bid. Then, fire up the ACARS program, and you can technically fly from that. Or go to SimBrief and put some numbers in to match and that stuff. But that's it to it. Really simple, really easy to use stuff. And I've been with them, I think we've calculated close to 8, 9, 10 years with them. Pretty much from when the VA started. They are a FedEx Express virtual airline. And the interesting thing is the airline, the aircraft side of the house, if you go to FedEx, is called FedEx Express. And that's what we try to do here. All right, so the current payload working off of, whoa. Am I reading that right? No, I'm not. Oh, I know why. Okay, disregard these numbers. And I'll, as a matter of fact, let me bring up the real ones. We'll disregard them that way. First off, we're not taking off on runway 9. Although we could, but we're not. All right, so here's SimBrief. I've got it tied in here down at the bottom. I'm going to go to my current flight plan. So for today's flight, we're rolling out of here of 101,075 pounds of cargo. That's our payload. And there is our zero fuel weight of 354,346 pounds. Now, we are not carrying passengers to Newark. They're like, why would we want to go from one snow den or from one snow patch to another? So now, if you were going to Florida, the cargo might start getting kicked off for people. No, it'll warm up there pretty quick. So may take a week or so, but it'll, when it does, hopefully not too rapidly. All right, so there's our numbers. There's our initial altitude of 16,000, and you're all going, what? It's because it's only 250 miles away. Folks, you might get into the 20s in the real world, but that's going to be about it. Plus, add all the traffic that flies in the Northeast, They're going to keep you down to make it easier to get you into Newark or JFK or La Garbage Can, LaGuardia. So 16,000 isn't that bad. And by the way, there is a real world flight that goes FedEx Boston Newark. It's a 57, well, every weeknight. Sometimes even a 767. Obviously, because the MD-11s are grounded right now. Oh, sorry for the sniffles. I try not to do that. All right, so that's our loadout for today. Weather. Okay, that probably isn't going to change. Newark, here we go. They're saying 9. Just realize we're going to go down to 27. 10-mile visibility, 180, or 180. 18,000 for a few clouds. That'll be some clouds we find. The temperature is at the freezing mark. Same thing down in Newark, except it's a heat wave, 37 degrees. Or 3 degrees Celsius, however you read it. So, not a bad day to fly, just a bad day to shovel. They're going to be doing that for quite a while. And as indicated already, we're already on VATSIM, so let's get the rest of this done. Like I said, we have a busy schedule if you're just tuning in. We are flying this leg, Boston to Newark in the MD-11, Nashville to St. Louis in the 737, and then Newark to Charlotte in an Airbus. So, hope you enjoy. All right, so what did we say our altimeter was? 3013 or something like that? Yeah. Let's get this one set. All right, let's go to work. Weights. That's what I wanted to do next. All right, so let's head over here. Oh, wait, I missed something. Sorry, forgot to bring this along. All right, real quick, when you come into the plane, you have options when you click the power button right here. Cold and dark, parked with external. It's in the way, I know. I always go with parked with external. It just skips really one step. Turn the batteries on. And external power is connected. All right, so let's go to the important, weight and balance. That's the one. Okay, again, we mentioned it was 101,075 pounds. Type it right here. We'll come back to payload in just a second. Block fuel, we are going to fly with 34,676 pounds. Type it in. Taxi fuel generally is 2,000 pounds. If you scroll down sim brief just a couple to where you see briefing preview, click show details, and that'll show you your fuels, what your fuel number is for taxi. Now, as the statement says, if you to check your landing weight that you're below it, especially long haul, put your trip fuel in off of SimBrief. SimBrief, it's treated as en route burn. Same thing. Now, the one big thing to know about this plane, takeoff CG right here. Okay, takeoff CG. That needs to be between 30 and 31%. So, don't do like me today and think you're making zero fuel weight. No. Takeoff, T-O. 30, 31%. Somewhere in there just said it. Now, the passenger version will be closer to 30. I have yet to get a passenger flight up to 31 on that. How do you move that? Very simple. Payload CG. Just move the lever whichever way gets you closer to 30 to 31%. Once I do 30.5 on the freighter. Why? Split the hair right down the middle. You're pretty good to go. All right. So Now, once you're done here, another tip from Flying with Mike, click Apply Load Configuration and FMS down at the bottom. It loads your plane and your FMS so it looks like this on the weight page. Otherwise, these bigger numbers you see would be blanked out. You'd have to click the line select keys next. I know I'm saving you about 2, 3, maybe 5 seconds, but hey, to some people that's a lifetime, they feel. So just letting you know that's what would happen. So there's our taxi fuel, our block fuel, our zero fuel weight, all looks to and matches. You can do them here and here. Okay, and now let's go to ground ops. Let's request the fuel. By the way, it's already loaded. And let's request loading. By the way, it too is already accomplished. I'm going to start my ACARS. Don't worry, I know you guys are going, come on, show the cheesy graph and the cheesy animation. There it is, right there. Uh-oh. Why is that? Hopefully this works. All right, well, we'll get outside. I may cancel the, oh, the fuel truck's here. Wow, that doesn't happen often. Well, let's see what happens. On the passenger plane, a lot of times he'll come in and this middle section will go up. Oh, it looks like he is going to go in. Cool. I'll explain why I call it cheesy here in a minute. It's cool. This goes a little further than when you request ground services at airports. Notice how it elevates up so the guy can actually reach the top of the wing there. Trust me, you can't. And you can see the last of the cans loading, and they'll be backing out here shortly. Matter of fact, I am going to cancel that. Not really sure why it said maintenance mode. That I have never ever seen. All right, now let me explain the cheesiness to the animations here in a minute. Once the fuel truck gets done, there he goes. So again, it's neat. I mean, hey, it's something. Okay, to those of you, it's something. But in my world, if you're going to go to that level, aside from the fuel truck, hang on. All right. So you saw 4 cans, right? Here's a wing shot. So there should be 4 cans in here, right? Yodeling. Yeah, it's empty. Cheesy. But something. All right, let me try the ACARS program one more time. KEWR. Request. Huh, why are we maintenance? Let's try it this way. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. KBOS, KEWR, or maybe there's an update. Okay, let's find out if there's an update. All right, bear with me. I did not test this before coming on air. Didn't think I needed to. Are you, no, that was... Okay, so what does that mean? March 2nd. Okay. That's a little ways away, so I'm just going to do that and not worry about it, I think. Oh, we're on the board? That's what I always look for. Okay. My bad. I thought we were having a little issue there, and just a little issue with me. And sorry for that delay there. That gives me time to get one other piece of my puzzle up and running. VATSIM radar. Whoa. Oh, I'm like, we have ATC? Okay, there we go. All right, that was all on me. Sorry for that delay. Okay, so let's get this thing going, shall we? So we've checked our weights. All looks good. Now let's do our route. This is the fun part. What I'd like to do here, hang on, is bring in charts just real quick. So you can see we're coming out runway 27. Now, here's a neat feature. The ATIS. Now, this is real world. So if you were on the ground, you tuned to the ATIS channel, this is what you would hear. Winds 120 at 3. 10-mile visit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We got a runway change, all right. All right, so we're going to depart now runway 9. See, this is why I check. And they can land on 4 right. Wow, cool. All right, now VATSIM had a controller up and they had an ATIS. You'd see it here. So we got a runway change. So we're going to go here. 27449, change 2. And it shouldn't affect our departure, just that it just lengthened us a little bit. Okay. All right. So you can see it right here, but now let's come down to the PAT 7 and take a look at it. All right, so we're going to basically take off, go to Clough, Fenway, Gillette, Wilmth, Dedham, and out to Pats. Okay. In the meantime, getting to the runway, we are going to go via Kilo to Mike and join the runway at Mike. Okay, so we'll come down here. So we'll come down Kilo, cross over, what is that, 4 right, Mike to runway 9. Yes, 9 is a 7,000-foot runway. What the heck? It's the flight sim. What's the worst thing it could do? I end up in the water? I don't know. We'll find out. And again, here's the ATIS channel. So if you tuned to it, that information you would have seen. Or, I'm sorry, heard. The D portion just means it's digital. Many U.S. airports, not all of the ones the airliners go to, have an ability for you to pull it up digitally and read the ATIS as far away as Tokyo if you wanted, or as far away as the North or South Pole. Maybe even the moon if they have internet. So that way you get an idea what's going on and where you're headed. It's a really great feature that came out. Okay, and then it's basically Pat's to Nelly, and Nelly starts our approach for 22 left. Let's double check that now too. Yeah, 22 left. Okay, for Newark. All right, let me center that back up, and let's get this flight plan in, if you don't mind. All right, so how do we do that? Well, we go back to the Airbus 11, and I can hear people cringing. It's an MD-11. Come on, get it right. Really? Sure looks like an Airbus to me. Flight plan? Yeah, really, Airbus. You sure it's not an Airbus 11? I have fun. That's all you can do. Runway 9, and we said the Pats. Looking for the Pats. There's a 7. Pats 7. And yeah, we don't have a transition on here. It's a straight out to Pats. All right, so insert. Guess what? Pretty Airbus look to me. No matter how much they want to cry. All right, let's go to plan. And look, you use the arrows like an Airbus. By the way, if you said it was a McDonnell Douglas, you're right. It's not a Boeing. Boeing inherited it from McDonnell Douglas. All right, so we said runway 22 left ILS. All right, now I'm gonna pull this up over here real quick. Only because I've forgotten what does what here. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Really? Oh boy. Yeah, let's just do that and see the damage. That's what I thought. All right, so I'm going to bring charts in here again, so bear with me, and I want to show why. My mind was thinking, just like we did a couple days ago, nearly 0-0 landing. We're coming in. That was 4 right. We're coming into 2 left south. So if we follow this all the way down, we got to turn around and come back here. We're going to plan to go here unless he controls us. And if he does, we'll do as told. But yeah, either we're going to go to Azico or pattern. I'm going to plan for pattern. And then we're on the, wait a minute, you're not seeing that. So I just wanted to point that out. So, you know, always be mindful. There is no other arrival for this runway other than the Flossie 4. So that's what we're going to do. And we're coming in off Nelly. Okay, so Flossie 4, Nelly. Oh, wait a minute. Flossie 4, headed for 22 left, Nelly from, and pattern. Okay, that works. Insert. Huh. Didn't go back like Boeing. All right. And there's Sachs. Okay, so we're going to leave this as is and hope for the best. And there's the manual back up to pattern or Ezekiel, probably pattern. And give me Zappa, Uzzed, 2-2. And then we go out to Kilma, hold. Now, there will be, just to mention to Philly, no route in there because we didn't put one. All right, I'm not worried about it. So back to F-plan. Navrad, that looks good. And now we go to the only thing on this device, this McDo, sorry, I love having fun, is the takeoff approach, which would have been performance on an Airbus. That's the only difference here. So I can't get over how many people get offended when I call it an Airbus. And it truly, when you begin to look at it and you approach it that way, this aircraft starts to make a lot more sense. It still can be a pain in the you-know-what to fly, but it helps you flight plan to get it ready to fly. The overhead panel's pretty similar, so it gets you a little accustomed to it. That's why I sometimes affectionately call it the Airbus 11. All right, so how do we fill all this stuff in? Let's go back to Sim Toolkit, if you don't mind. Guess what? By the way, this is now right, just the numbers aren't. Oh, me, oh my. All right, so Sim Toolkit, Sim Brief. All right, now we are gonna have to do some things here. All right, so what I'm going to say, let's go to performance and tools for this flight. Remember I told you the difference is you won't get a map. If you do the select your view flight plan, takeoff performance, you won't get a map of where on the runway V1 rotate V2 is, okay? Pretty much it and the slope. Those are the only things really missing over there. So if you go to performance, now you got to put the airplane in. So now we got to go all the way down, find the MD-11F, find my airplane, that one. Airport, I mean, we've already established a lot of these. Now it's runway 9, takeoff weight. Now we got to go back to Sim Brief, get that number. That's why I don't use this a lot. It's just a lot of regurgitating old data. Temperature 13012, we'll get all of that updated. Let's calculate. All right, 135, 142, 156 as you see. Okay, now I told you you can get your runway slope, which is right here, down 0.03. In all essence, 0. But we'll put a DN 0.0 just because it is down to the water. And then here's that cutesy little map. Whoopee to me. The only bad thing would be is if these were up here. That's not happening. All right. So we got a lot of the information now that we need. We got the gradient, we got this, and hang on a second. We have the runway winds and stuff like that. All right, so let's get rid of the sim toolkit so you can follow along, because I know a lot of people get hung here. Now, flex. All that is you're telling the engines not to go all out, max power. You want to save them. You know, they're pretty expensive to work on, folks. So you back off the power a little. You give the wear and tear a little less on it. All right, so hang on here. Flexing at 60. Okay. We're going to do packs off, or we packs on. Can't, doesn't matter. Bleeds auto, so on. Okay, slope. We said, and it's just like Airbus, down DN 0.0 slash, and then our component wind again. So here we have a headwind of 5 knots and a crosswind of 5 knots. Head 05, HD 05. It is Einst. Well, what? Oh, that's right. Do I gotta put the plus in? Oh, I do. The only thing different between an Airbus and the McDonnell Douglas 11, the Airbus is smarter. It knows it's positive or negative. Anyway. Again, gotta have fun. And you all thought I was just favoring Airbus. All right. Okay, flaps 15. We'll talk about this here shortly. So here's our setup, 136. Okay, we came back 135, 142, and 156. Now, you could put those numbers in. I am just going to go with these because they will work. These are the same climb, thrust accelerations, engine out accelerations that we have in Airbus. So if you're at airports where black box is done, I would bet Boston is. You could fill that in. They're good for me. All right, and that takes care of the McDo. Okay, we're done. Now, the flaps is it's not unique on this plane. It's wording that's quite unique. Like I said, more on that in a minute. Gotta tease you. Okay, now let me see, make sure my screens are looking good. All right, let's go up here, and in we go with, all right. Okay, we're gonna be below 10,000, so obviously 250s are max. However, does the PATS put a further restriction? Nope, maximum 250. So cool, we can set 250. Runway heading 09er. Are we going to go 090? 092. Lastly, let me check. 5,000's the initial. Whoop. So we'll do that. Now, y'all are going, yeah, like you'll remember. Hopefully, the airplane will. Okay, so we've got this portion set. Now, let's go to nav data. We want traffic data and weather on the 5s. I know, many of you didn't get my joke. Traffic data and crew. Oh, wait, we got to go back to map. And we are 20. Let's go. That's actually pretty good. Let's go one more here. All right, and down here. Let's go to engine for now. It didn't switch. Now it did. All right. And we're ready to go. I know it's a little lengthy. I still try to make it somewhat oh, Jeffrey B, welcome in, sir. Thank you for the resub. We sure appreciate it. Sorry I had alerts off at the moment, but thank you so much. We appreciate the resub. Been with us 20 months. Want to say thank you for that. Yeah, I had turned the alerts off so that we could see everything. All right. Well, thank you again, Jeffrey B. Wow. Woohoo is correct. Let's get this bird airborne. What do you say? Let's see what's making all that racket around us. Okay. The ghosts of Boston Logan. All right. Let's go ahead. Lights off. All right. And you notice with this airplane and flight factor, make sure you first turn off external power here. Just like in the real world, you want to disconnect the plane switch-wise from it, then come over and dismiss it or remove it here. Otherwise, now I can't say this could happen in the real world or not, but in the flight sim world, you may have to re-enter everything you just put in that McDo. Everything. Those of you that are the speed demons and want to get out, you just got held up. All right, so here we go. Hey, it's not bad, an hour, and we're ready to start thinking about engine start. One thing I do want to do, .ctaf KBOS, and then we'll put 128.8. All right, and we got CTAF up and running, and we're online. I say let's go terrorize the skies. What do you say? Again, we are on the Boston to Newark leg. By the way, just again, a quick note. More about it when we get there and you get to see this phenomenal scenery. We have the new Drzewieckii X-Plane 12 Newark scenery. It is phenomenal. You did I'm just going to do it this way. They did a fantastic job with the scenery. With the documentation, a little fuzzy. We'll clear it up when we get there. Okay, so the barometric pressure now 3012. Oh, went too far. There we go. And let's get those packages to behave back there. Seatbelts on. Emergency lights armed. Light set. Beacon on. We're going to use B system. Emergency lights, fuel panel call for pushback. Oh, wait a minute, we're not ready. Closing the door. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. I got the chance to, on a KC-10, I don't think we did it on the MD-11, try to open and close this door manually. There's some weight on it, folks. So be ready for that. Be hopeful. When you come up and if you have to make entry into it, be praying the hydraulic system has it working, so you just let it slide up on its own. And if not, make sure you have some kind of a pole or something to stick in it to make sure it stays. Just a few tips for those out there that might inquire about such things. Hang on, I want to look. Looks like we are indeed ready to go. Last thing on the check here, get rid of the chocks. All right, let's get better pushback up and up to the plane.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
I want to go right here.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Okay, verify we have APU air, APU available. And let's get down here to aux, and we're ready to go.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
All right, we had a little discussion last time we took this bird out, or maybe the time before. Engine start procedures. I'm just going by what came from Rotate. Okay, right or wrong, I don't think there really is a right or wrong. They like it 3-1-2. So we start the right one, then the left one, then the center. Logan traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, pushing back FedEx cargo.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, one last check. B's on, beacons on, air. All right, it's a pretty easy plane to start. It's Airbus, what do you expect? Now you may have to bump the throttles to get that light on. And then basically when it gets to the teal, blue, blue-green, whatever you want to call that color, whenever it reaches that, I still go to the, you know, it just seems right to go to at least 17 to 20. And then just flip the switch to bring the fuel on. And again, we'll repeat this for 1 and then 2. In the meantime, let's put this one on flight plan. And go to there real quick. Okay, and let's go ahead, crank up the other wing, left wing. The only Airbus difference here is you got to flip the switch for fuel instead of just bring the master switch up and let her do it itself. Unless you have an issue where you would have to use the starter switch, get your pressure, and then fuel. I have not done that in a while, and I have forgotten how to.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right, are we stable? Yep, we are. Oh, let's go ahead. So I hope you all have great plans for this weekend. It is another
Tow is
weekend
disconnected
of
and
Lent.
bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be
And,
on the right.
I am
We'll
looking
see you
forward
next
to a
time
nice
and have a great
shrimp
flight.
dinner, my wife a fish, and I hope you all enjoy and keep Christ on your hearts and ways to deepen your relationship with Christ and rid of anything that prevents you from deepening that relationship. There are gods and things that get in the way. Just, find them and make that what you give up for Lent. Some give up Facebook. Hey, that's a good one. I mean, how many hours a day do you spend? I bet some of you have thumbs capable of lifting 500 pounds from how many times scrolling up a screen. So, anyway, there's our signal that he's there. We're lined up. But anyway, it is Lent, and like I said, it's a time where we should inwardly search what's hindering us from getting closer to our God. Oh, where were we? Engine start. Okay, up to the upper panel. Get the winter defog off. Anti-ice. We're not going to run with it. No clouds en route. Hydraulic and APU panel. APU can be turned off. We'll see how that works out. Make sure it starts spooling down. Okay. All right, we need config. All right, we need to set trim. Where we get this number is, I just saw it. Where it was. Oh, right here, Stabe. 4.8. So you just roll the trim till it reads Stabe 4.8 ANU. Okay. Now we go back to the engines, and I'm wondering if I should have done something else. Hang on. Yeah, I should have. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's check our flight controls. See how you can see them on the screen? I'll be honest, never seen this part, probably never will. Probably shouldn't let me in the cockpit when you're getting ready to fly. Or backed out, ready to taxi. Because I'll be thinking, can I fly? Can I fly? Can I fly? Can I? Like that little dog and the big bulldog in the Bugs Bunny stuff. Captain says, get away from me. You bother me. You bother me. Oh, our dog cracks me up. Dryer alarm just went off. You would think a nuclear bomb detonated. Oh, let's see. Now we'll go to engine. Okay, and 4.8. Auto brake set for takeoff. And exterior lights ready for taxi. Okay, nose light. Turn off, turn off. And we're set to go. Logan traffic, FedEx 811 Heavy, taxiing Kilo to Mike for takeoff runway 9. That's the most you'll ever hear me. Unfortunately, this McDo does not work, and we're going to go ahead and turn this on. All right, lights are on. Takeoff data, auto flight. We'll get that at the runway. Here we go. All right, we made mention of this. Flaps. We are to be at flaps 15. We have this system called dial-a-flap. And what that means, no, you're not calling an 800 number to get your flap setting. You dial in what dispatch gives you over here, and then it'll set in here. So we're going to 15. Here come the slats. And there it goes to 15. The bad thing about this system, in my opinion, I am just a real-world private pilot who hasn't flown since the 80s, is that's where your setting will be on approach. So let's just say dispatch gave you flaps 20 or flaps 25, because I think 28's where it is the max. Oh, wait a minute, we got something here. See if that clears up. Hopefully I didn't screw it up. It wouldn't surprise me if I screwed it up. That is the first time I've seen that. All right, we're clear. Now I got to figure out runway 9. I think this is Mike. Yeah. And there's runway 9. For some reason, I thought it was a longer taxi. Okay, I'm going to get in here, set the brakes real quick, get this fuel issue dealt with. I only think it's this way because hopefully we don't run out of fuel. I really never have seen that. It's just saying select fuel system man. All right, hang on. Let's just go. All right, left, right, on. Well, worst case scenario, see what happens. That is the first time I've seen this. Let's see if anything on the miscellaneous pages tell me what to do. Okay, I can deal with that one. Maybe I'm supposed to go manual. Hang on, let me just see if this works. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. All right, we're good. And last but not least, okay, so before takeoff data has been checked and is correct. We get that on engine. And we're on transponder, right? Is set up all the way. Good. No radars. EAD. Oh, we got to arm the spoilers. Just like Airbus. Pull it up. And cabin ready, radar transponder set, and here we go. First thing I want to do is click auto flight and prof. Logan traffic, FedEx 811 heavy departing 9 on the PAT 7 departure. Okay, all clear there. All clear there. Gives me a chance to click the okay, lights are on. And here we go. Time to get going. Hands off the wheel. V-rotate. Time for an MD-11 climb out. If you've never seen it, it is pretty cool. Get that gear at the same time. Auto flight. working our way out. Hey, welcome in, folks. We're airborne and headed to Newark. Yes, we had questions last time about it. Yes, the new scenery should be there. Let's find out, shall we? 'Cause we're not far from top of climb. We're 11,000, climbing for 16,000, and we're about 30 minutes out. Yep, about 30 or so minutes out, so enjoy, and we will probably, well, we'll see. We don't know if we'll have New York approach yet. I do not know how that all incorporates there. Because even looking at VATSIM radar, okay, hang on, let me, seatbelts are good, and all these are telling us our auxiliary tanks are low, from our tailpipe pump to our auxiliary left and right being low.
Stabilizer motion.
We got plenty of fuel in the main pipes.
Altitude.
All right, so let me bring in VATSIM radar. Okay. Now the interesting thing that comes in is right here. Let me kind of zoom it a little. Is with 90 covers there. Okay. Or maybe he extended. I don't get this. So I don't know. And who's following us now? El Dadu. Welcome aboard. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. We sure appreciate it. Jeffrey B resubbed earlier, and now we have a follow from El Dadu. So you can see why I'm thinking we may be talking to New York approach here soon. They've been up, I don't know how long. Has he been up? Not 3 hours, so I don't know how that will affect, because he's with JFK on other maps, but N90 covers New York. It's so complicated these days. Can we go back to the simplicitness of what I had back in my day of flying? Hence why, if I ever did try to get my pilot's license or get myself recurrent, I'd want to go to ground school. It's just way too complicated. St. Louis approach takes care of Peoria, and if you look on the map, that's nearly 200 miles away. What? Why can't Peoria take care of Peoria, Springfield, St. Louis, yeah? I don't know. Just call me silly and simplistic. I don't know. You could even throw stupid in there. It wouldn't bother me. Just don't call me late for dinner. I mean, it just is so complicated today. And I'm sure the makers, it's actually so much easier than back. No, not really. Not really. But many don't even know what it was like back then. So, and I get it. You don't want to teach it. Don't want to put bad habits in people. Got it. Get it. Yeah. So anyway, we're on our way to Newark. To Confusion Junction at Newark. I really do hope, though, for those of you tuning in, especially those already off work, Friday night's upon you. I hope you have a safe night. Enjoy, be safe, because I don't know when my next flight will be, other than for sure Monday. And we'll be talking about that Monday. Maybe a little later today, but right now let's just get to Newark so we can then get on to Nashville to St. Louis. Huh. I'll probably say that at the end of this stream session, once we've done all 3 flights. Hopefully I'll be able to get to Newark, Charlotte. And as I affectionately call this livery, the Purple People Eaters. I got something in the way, sorry. Yes, we are in cruise. All right, now, as we aforementioned, our top of descent, I'm going to, we'll take a look at here once again. Pattern, we need to come down to 3,000 by a secco. Okay, so this is actually some pretty simple mathematics for those younger folks tuning in going, I don't need to know anything in math, as they tell their teachers. It is never used anywhere else but here to confuse us completely. Why do I know you say that? Because I said that. Boy, was I wrong. Even as a truck driver, there was math. Even as a firefighter, a lot of math. So, buck up. Or in the immortal words of a young lady I used to work with, suck it up, buttercup. Oh, the dog hears something. I guess one of my daughters. Alright, so we're at 16 minus 3. That one should be easy for you folk. Times that by 3. Maybe not so easy, but it should be. So about 39 miles. Okay. Now, the $1 million question. Okay, we're coming in Flossie from Nelly. Oh, cool. All right, so at Crank, we're supposed to, okay, you know what, instead of me talking, let's let the pictures do the $1 million worth of million words of talking. So we're coming in from Nelly below 16,000, we're there, so we're good. Descending to 7, cool. And then here is Sparta, Sachs on your charts. We're gonna deviate to pattern and come in from there. Barring approach telling me, no, you're not doing that. Nice try. You're going to go this way. No. And don't tell me that's how he sounds, because I hope he doesn't. Anyway, so we'll be below 16,000, at or below at Nelly, 7,000 at Crank, and descending towards 3,000 for pattern, or for correction, Izarco. I know some of you out there love seeing the top half of a jet frequencies. Then your the briefing strip will set 108.7 which should automatically set. But if it doesn't, I'll show you how to do it. Final approach 219, so from Issaco in, 1500 it buzzed, and decision altitude 210 or 200. 200 above the ground, 210 on your altimeter. Alright, pretty simple, straightforward. You can see the stairs step down to 1500. By the way, it buzzed, that's where we should be on the glide slope. Minimums for today, 200 above the ground and a visibility of greater than a half mile. Let's check that. Yeah, I can see more than a half mile from 16,000. We're good. So can you. All right, so looking good. As we cross paths. Again, I don't know where New York approach butts into us at all, if at all. So we'll kind of watch that. Newark, let me see, do we have any? Parks on the north side. How about that? I thought they parked north of... Oh, no, they can't now. Never mind. All right. Well, that's kind of funny. Let's see what A and B is. Ha, they don't have FedEx. Kind of funny. They'll give you UPS, they'll give you the rest, but not FedEx. I love it. Oh boy. Yeah, they took up this new terminal A, as you will see, took up where UPS used to park, just north or west of the FedEx ramp. And now they're all up in this other cargo area. Wow. A lot of change came. If he is extended to at least BDR, which would be what? What is BDR? Oh, it is. Huh. So it will be interesting to see. I think at Nelly we'll start our... No, we'll start our descent. It'll be probably wise. One more time outside the plane. Y'all can trace my route. Look, there's airports everywhere. according to this, 111 miles. Crank. They're calling it 53. But yeah, you can see this aircraft is extremely if you know Airbus, you've got the cockpit nailed. Performance and all of that becomes a whole different ball of wax. Hey, what? Original Godspeed? Hang on. Oh my gosh, he has returned to us. Welcome, sir. From your long hiatus. Welcome back, Mr. Original Godspeed. Boy, did you pick a day to come back. All right, let me take a look. Take a look up here. We got 3 flights today.
Raider 81 Super, this is Eagle Crew, Tron Guard, contact me.
I have no idea. Oh, Teterboro. I wonder if I'll have to talk to them. Oh, I hope you're okay there, Godspeed. Says he got into a wreck on Sunday. Compliments of ice. Can't imagine where that came from. Hope you're okay. All right, I think... How much further? We got 41 miles. Gonna try this again with my phone. Yesterday, my phone wouldn't charge here. Oh, totaled your truck, but you're okay. In the end, that is all that matters, you know. Trucks can be replaced. Bodies, unfortunately, are not the easiest things to replace. Fix and or replace. Well, you're not going to replace them. So, good. Glad to hear that. All right, we're going to start our descent. Let's get this set. 7,000. That's awesome that you're okay out of that wreck. Hopefully insurance and all will bring the truck back, or now you can get that new 4-door dually with oh, and he passed it. Ah, sorry to hear that. Oh. Okay, we're about top of descent. I'm going to wait till the little, let me show you here. It's hard to see, but this little squiggly, that's your top of descent. Actually, it's called a hockey stick in some streams. I get the reference, kind of, sort of. think he's controlling Newark. This will be interesting, though, how we get to it. Newark is altimeter of 3012. Cool. All right, I'm going to start our descent in 24 miles. Yes, I was talking about Jeffrey B. He resubbed, what was it, an hour ago. Much appreciated. 24 months now he's been with us. Appreciate him. Here comes the descent. And unfortunately, I believe that one is where we'll reach 7,000. So we may... No, Jeffrey B is not controlling. The controller, we're wondering, will be actually runs virtual, the VUSA General Aviation Group. He's controlling JFK approach, New York approach, N90, whatever you guys want to call it. And I'm just curious if he's going to reach out to me. How or when, or am I by myself all the way into Newark? Matter of fact, let's just do that. CTAF, CTAF, KEWR. And we'll go down here, 118.3. Either way would have been as fast. Okay. Oh, we are going to do a nice and gentle descent. Good. I've never seen that with this. Error at buzzed. Oh wait, buzzed is on the approach. That's 1500. Well, that's what we will be at. All right, let me get some landing data here. We'll go back to SimBrief. I'm just going to get the quickie landing preference, calculate. All right, we're gonna come in, no, we're not coming in flaps 50. And let's, max main, okay. And no reverse, okay. Yeah, we'll see how this, let's just go brakes 1. We'll go medium, and that way we can at least get off the runway. So flaps 35. And come down here. I don't remember. Oop, wrong one. Perf. All right, so 35 will be coming in. We'll call it 150. And everything looks good. Okay. thought there was a progress page. That must be what the takeoff approach replaced. All right, so far so good. Not to jinx this. Oh, really? On the A319-320, the max brake setting is not an option. Well, we have that in the lineup today, the CFM version. We'll check it out. A lot of people love going to JFK. I'm kind of glad to be going to Newark today. And yeah, I will be honest with the original Godspeed. I really didn't pay attention. Wait a minute, Max has to be there. That's your takeoff setting. I will definitely have to look into that. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have to look at that. I would have swore we saw it. Got to get on a CRJ wing and have to clean it. And the bottom of the plane. Oh, yeah. I mean, are you sure? Yeah, you could probably have just stepped up onto it, how low they sit to the ground. All right, hang on. Let's see here. More enough. Welcome aboard Real Ops. Yes, and by the way, we're going into the new Newark scenery. Beautiful, by the way. Beautiful. However, I'll have some comments when we get there.
Altitude.
None that you can see in the scenery. It's just a little bit of miscommunications with the documentation is not the greatest. Hang on a second, Godspeed. What did you do?
Stabilizer motion.
Somebody sent a yes. That's all I will say, Mornov. Yes, it's worth it. Yeah, that's all I'll say for now. Just we'll get to the buyer beware. All right, we're leveling off at 7,000 before Flossie, which is good. Let me pull my chot. Oop, that's not my chots. Okay, now where's my charts? Oh, there they are. I thought I got rid of them again. I did that once. Went for them and went, where are my charts? What did you do? Note to self, don't post explain links. I actually have it set up to not accept links. I'm still debating that one. So, Real Ops works offline. Oh, I know what you mean. No, not real. No, we are not running Real Ops. You're talking about all the ground stuff and all of that. No, I have the new Newark scenery, and it is really nice, but so you don't get aggravated and frustrated and ready to throw a sledgehammer at it, I'll have some words on the ground. Because I almost did. But I was rewarded with patience. Patience rewarded me quite nicely. All right, Flossie's ahead. We're at, we're really kind of slow. I'm going to pick it up. Here we go. There's really no reason. I don't see anything on the arrival to be that slow. Okay, and Sparta VOR is, well, actually, I might go with Chaff. Either Chaff or Sparta's where I'll make the turn. I think, yeah, we'll do fine at Saks. All right, we're at 7,000, so I guess I should be nice and turn the lights on. Again, we are in the Purple People Eater. Is say intentions worth it? Don't do VATSIM. Well, your options are, if you don't do VATSIM, you just fly with default ATC or say intentions. Default ATC is free, say intentions you pay for. I have never used say intentions, don't plan to. I'm normally on VATSIM. If I'm not, I would be on default ATC, and there have been some quirks with it, but overall it's, gosh, so much better than past sims that I've used with a default type ATC. So, doesn't mean it doesn't hang you out to dry a couple times. It did a couple on me and put me into a vicious circle, which we haven't tried since, to see if maybe they picked it out. Do you know if it works with live traffic? You talking about AI traffic there, Godspeed? I don't know. I don't have live traffic until I'm on VATSIM. By the way, you're looking at the Rotate MD-11. I will say it is worth the money to get both if you want to fly an MD-11. What I mean by both, the freighter came out first, and a couple of 2 or 3 or 4 years later, the passenger version came out, which you have to pay for as well, but at a reduced price. So, or if you buy the passenger first, the freighter would be at a reduced price. But I would say they're worth it. But they come with, well, we had to crash to desktop last flight. Now that's the first one we've had with no telling in the log what happened. Okay. Is that ice buildup, or is that how that is how the livery looks? I think they were going for old, and if it's ice, well, then I'm going to fall out of the sky. But it is a lighter purple than the purple found on the Purple People Eaters of the original FedEx, otherwise known as Federal Express. And I don't think this, I think this is either too close, too big, or something. Alright, we're making the turn now towards Saks. All right. Okay, we're getting close here. I'm going to begin to slow us at Saks. Okay, so here we go. Better picture. Yeah, if we do Saks, that'll give us a good. Oh wait, going patron to the local. Okay. Okay, patron. Do we need to slow up at patron? No. Okay. Ah, in between shaft and Saks, expect our vector. Okay, from Victor. Got it. Alright, so after shaft we'll go direct, and we'll also descend to 3,000. can see a couple of quirks I also don't like. You only get the window here, not the whole unit, whereas you get the whole windows here. So if I click here, you get the whole thing. So after shaft, we'll go direct and slow down and descend. All right, today, folks, on Twitch, you're going to get 3 flights, 3 short flights. Well, we'll see how the third one ranks up. We're in the middle of Boston to Newark, FedEx. Next up, Sun Country, Nashville, Tennessee to St. Louis, Illinois. And then finally wrap it up Newark to Charlotte. A little longer run. As I like to say sometimes, stretch out our legs a little bit. Okay, there we crossed shaft, or we are about to. Oh wait, yeah, we're crossing shaft in 1 mile. And let me just look at buzzed. That's right. All right, let's go direct. Direct. Pattern. Down to 3,000. Now, we don't have to be at pattern at 3,000, or it's pattern. But we have to at IZOG to be able to grab the ILS. That's why we're slowing. Let's put some slats out. Like I said, I do not know if we're going to get called upon to talk to approach. That will be his discretion. Technically, from pattern to the aisle, actually to Newark, we're kind of, sort of in his territory. He'll tell us yay or nay. He may be too busy and not worried about us. All right. So I hope you've enjoyed the first of 3 flights. YouTubers, you'll get them in 3 different videos. Okay, we're coming up on, it looks like we're about to get down to 3,000. Huh, fun flight, fun flight. All right, we're getting a frequency. Let me see. ILSQ. That is what we're looking for. Good deal. Currently, no localizer, no glide slope, so we're in good shape there. The question is, will our approach guide want to talk to me?
Altitude.
All right, we're leveled up. Let me check on the ILS. How far out are we at that point? Oh my gosh, we're only 9 miles out. We're going to start really slow. Let's get down to 180. And
2,500.
put this on takeoff. We're going to slow to 150 here shortly. Okay, we're going to flaps 15. Get our spoilers armed. Again, just like Airbus. Pull up, make sure you see the red flag. When we get established, we'll push the button right here and then bring up, actually I can go ahead and bring that up right now, the yoke, and we'll push the autopilot here. Supposedly we're only 9 miles out, so let's go ahead. I'm going to switch over to Newark. As soon as we hit pattern, and if he makes me switch, I'm going to be not happy. Actually, I don't think he will, because there is no ATIS for Newark. Newark area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy over pattern, initial approach fix for the ILS 22 left. Okay, we're dropping to 3,000 and then down to 2,500.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, I got localizer and glide slope, so approach land armed. Not sure if I'll see the airport this far out. By the way, this will be my first run into Newark. All I've done is sat on the ground at a gate looking at it. Curious, now that Godspeed said that, what the max setting says in the Airbuses. Teterboro off the left. Slowing to 150. Laps 35. Newark traffic, FedEx 811, Zico, initial fix, 22 left. Okay, we are descending on the glide slope, 150 flaps, 35 slats out, 8-mile final. No runway yet. Hazy, hazy, hazy. They're calling it 10 miles. I can't see it. Oh, I got the runways. That's 7.5 miles. It's all that steam coming up from all that snow. Yeah, I was talking with my dad last night. Wow. It's impressive to listen to the snow totals in Philly working their way up to Providence. Holy mackerel. All right. And I got a runway. Got to remember we're on the far side, okay. And last airborne call, Newark, 5-mile final, 22 left, FedEx 811.
Autopilot. 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 One thousand.
Hey, Azul, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders, to Flying with Mike. About to land at the Drzewieckii Newark International Liberty Airport. Yeah, look it up. You'll see it all saying that. Hello, hello. All right, short final.
Approaching minimum. Minimum.
Landing.
300. 200.
Oh, there's the
Glide
happy.
slope, glide 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 slope.
20. 10.
All right, and whoever, oh, we have a prediction. I will get to that in just a second. Somebody predicted, I believe. We'll find out. And Newark traffic, FedEx 811 heavies cleared up off of 22 left to FedEx. going to, I only did that so I could do all of this. Like I said, when we get parked, I think you'll really like this scenery. And I will put some disclaimers out there so y'all don't get, don't overreact. Although I'll get your overreaction when I go through it. And Newark traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, clear of all runways to FedEx. Good news, the MD-11 is back in rotation. We had a crash to desktop into Boston a couple weeks ago. Still don't know, yes, the purple people leader. I'll give you a little quick snapshot of Newark. But there are some things you need to know, and there's some interest. Ooh. Now, that I did not see. Huh. Did not see the cargo loaders to the planes. Wow. Okay. I always wondered how these looked in real life. This loading area for these 4 spots. Oakland has them. Somewhere else has them too. Always wondered. And I actually thought it was a jetway that would come out so the pilots could go out that way and all. Hey, it looks cool. All right, let's get this thing shut down. Original Godspeed chimed in. Saying he'd like to try the CRJs from Delta Wing. Can't speak for them. I don't have them. But I'd be curious to hear from you what you think. Azul with a potential joke here. What's a FedEx fueler's least favorite joke? And I got a bad feeling. While we wait, hang on. Let's see. After landing, flap spoilers up. We need to get the transponder back to exponder. Okay, trim. Was it 4 units or 3 units? Purple rain. Okay, good. I was a little worried where that might go. It's a good song, by the way. Very good song. Okay, after landing, trim 3 units. Could have played it, huh? Would have helped the joke. No, I mean, that is a beautiful song Prince wrote, or Prince sang. And if you saw the movie, oh, wow. I was just saying that yesterday at my last day at my last job. Yeah. I'm not going to go there. But, yeah. Purple Rain, what a movie and song. Great, great, great. Let's see. We got the auto brakes off. And stay APU, make sure that's running. Going to bleed. Let's shut off the center engine. It's interesting, the warning went away. I don't know why. Okay, and the packs look good. Back down, we'll shut them down. Sorry that I went away. El Daddy-O, welcome! El Daddy-O, El Dadu, welcome in. The scene from Newark, yes. Drzewieckii design, yes. Hang on a second, we're just finishing up the checklist for shutdown. Fuel switches off, transponder, standby, seatbelts. Seatbelts, we need no stinking seatbelts. Exterior lights definitely off. Doors may be opened. IRS to off. 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 And defog off. Okay. Let's get the doors open. Well, I wouldn't expect anything here, just to be honest with y'all. That would be really tough to know. We'll get to it over at the terminal. But here we are, FedEx. Kind of back out a little bit so you can see it. The Drzewieckii scenery. And I'm here to tell you, wow, I didn't know the cargo stuff here with the... Now, you don't have to have these airplanes static on here. You can select it in the as you install. I thought, what the heck? I can't imagine there'd be a lot. By the way, just for those who knew Newark of old, this area here was where UPS used to be. Now they're on the north end. Okay, here's the new terminal. Exterior parking, and then work your way down. Then there's another new terminal down here. We'll kind of do a little, take a look here in a minute. But yeah, this is the new scenery. So what have I been holding back till we got here? Documentation is not the greatest. We'll just put it that way. And I'm going to do it the only way I know how to do it. Stand by as I get to the... Ah, I thought I had it. Let's go here. Okay, now if you go through purchase, you know what? I could have put the link up here. Doggone it. I didn't even think of that. But anyway, if you go through, go to the org store, find the Drzewieckii X, it'll be X plane 12. It'll say XP12. Don't get the other one. I think it's Nimbus for X plane 11. Be careful.
Newark traffic, United 2145, heavy, leaving Python 3000, approaching Echo 42 to left, ILS.
Hang on a second. So I don't get interrupted again. So make sure that first. That's not on Drzewieckii, that's X-Plane. Orc store. Now, what is on Drzewieckii is once you purchase it, it is going to ask you, or not ask you, is it in? I know how to get to it quickly. Hang on. I'm going to try to do this word for word. Okay. Okay, could be X-Plane 12 then. My apologies to Drzewieckii, not maybe your end, but you, I think, had kind of the same verbiage. Okay, so you'll pick, obviously, which sim. One is for the developer, and, or I'm sorry, one EXE is for Windows, one for Linux. But where I ran into trouble, next line is Newark Liberty XP12. For better experience, please install the following plugins. Don't use the word please here. Must install. If you don't put OpenSam in your sim plugins and follow the directions that you get from the site, what you see, you don't see. All the buildings vanish. You just have a ramp. Very important. That is a mandatory load. Now, I'm not certain about living scenery technology because I went ahead and put them both in. So be careful there. Make sure you put OpenSam in. Now, a couple of other neat features that you'll get with OpenSam. One, you can put the jetways to your plane. Two, and I did not know this about it, for all those statics out there and ex-pilot aircraft out there, you can extend the jetways to them as well. So, and there's a few other little things. But anyway, it is mandatory. Make sure you've either got OpenSam in it, or you put it in, or you just won't have buildings. Other than that, once you get past that hiccup, one thing I did want to look at, hang on. Oh, let's watch him. You get the loading area off to the right there, plus this really good scenery, folks. So I don't want to waste a lot of time here, so I hope United gets in here quickly. One area I am curious about, let's see if it'll come down to it. Is right here what they did for FedEx. Looks like a pretty good job for you to come in with the caravans. So yeah, that's pretty good. Nice job, United. Nice job. Little short, but hey, who's going to complain? But there's the shipping yards to come with it. There's the city. Granted, I don't have stuff dialed all the way up so you see the city better. But yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. And then we'll start working our way down. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, folks. So you can get an idea. So it really is. We'll get a little better look at it with the Newark to Charlotte. Let's get back to the plane. But yeah, it's worth the money. Just make sure, like I said, you have OpenSam and the living scenery is a free download. OpenSam, you got to go to GitHub, follow the instructions to download it. Real simple. Follow it to load, and the buildings miraculously come back or come in to view. So, like I said, I think it's worth the money. I think I paid $24 for it. Yeah, $24, and I think you'll enjoy it. All right. All right. Well, we're going to call it for our YouTube folks. And I hope you all enjoyed this flight from Boston to Newark. The new Drzewieckii designs scenery, I think, is phenomenal. We get over to the terminals. You'll get to see, much like Nimbus, you've got the seating and all of that available to you. There is a lot more OpenSam can do that I don't know how to make do. I don't even yet know how to extend the jetways to the airplanes. I just know it's a feature. So, all right, we're going to leave the Purple People Eater here. YouTube, you all have a magnificent day. It's Friday. Enjoy, be safe, and we look forward to seeing you on our next flight. The folks here on Twitch, stand by. We're going into flight number 2, Nashville to St. Louis, Illinois. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, Twitch. And we're not even going to turn the stream off. We're just going to rock on into the next one. See you in a few, Twitch. See you on the next flight. God bless, YouTube. We'll see you next time around.